If you are a man over 60 and still masturbating every week, I'm sorry to have to say this, but this might be the hidden reason secretly destroying your testosterone, causing your desire to disappear and making your penis weaker and weaker. I know this statement may upset you, even make you feel ashamed or guilty, but do you know, in over 25 years of practicing as a urologist in Texas, I have treated thousands of men over 60 who fell into despair due to losing their ability to get an erection, losing interest in their wives, and being left only with feelings of powerlessness, disappointment, and fear every night when darkness falls. And when I asked them a simple question, "Do you often masturbate?" most of them answered, "Yes, doctor, I think it helps me sleep better." From that answer, I realized a painful truth. Masturbation is not bad. I emphasize it is not bad if you do it the right way, at the right time, and with the right frequency. But for most older men I've met, masturbation has become a hurried, lonely, and wrong form of release, gradually destroying all natural erection reflexes, depleting dopamine, the neurotransmitter that creates feelings of pleasure, satisfaction, and determination in men. I once saw a 68-year-old patient, a retired firefighter from California, come to me with dark circles under his eyes and a heavy voice. He said, "Doctor, I no longer have the desire to touch my wife. I don't understand what's happening to me. I still masturbate almost every night, but each time I feel less and less." His wife sat next to him, silently looking down at the floor, her eyes red. I asked him in detail about how he masturbated. He said he often did it very quickly in the bathroom before going to bed, without using any lubricant, squeezing very tightly to reach orgasm as fast as possible because he was afraid his wife would hear. Does that sound familiar to you? Many older men do the same because they are afraid of being discovered, afraid of being judged, or simply because they no longer feel any excitement with their wives. But they don't realize that this very act is killing the true masculine desire within them. I'm telling you the truth. A man who masturbates incorrectly for years will fall into a state called porn-induced ED, erectile dysfunction caused by masturbation and porn. But even without porn, just the habit of masturbating quickly, forcefully, urgently, and without emotional connection is enough to destroy natural sensitivity and erectile strength. Another patient of mine in Florida, 72 years old, divorced 5 years ago. He said he no longer believed in women and masturbation was the only way he could release. But after many years, he came to see me because he could no longer get an erection, even while watching the most extreme porn videos. He cried and asked, "Doctor, am I truly broken?" Do you know what I told him? I said, "No, you're not broken. You just don't yet understand masturbation and how your sexual brain works at this age." Because masturbation is not just about release. It involves hormones, the nervous system, the circulatory system, and even a man's entire worldview. And if you don't know how to adjust it, it will take everything away from you. Today, I want you to listen carefully to everything I'm about to share. I am not condemning masturbation. I just want you to understand the truth so you don't fall into the path of despair that thousands of older American men are suffering. I will help you learn how to masturbate correctly, so it becomes a tool to increase testosterone, improve penile blood circulation, and keep you strong like the real man you deserve to be. Because in the end, what I want most is that when you wake up each morning, look in the mirror, you will still see yourself as a man full of freedom, strength, and the desire to conquer life. I am Dr. Authority, a specialist in urology and male endocrinology, currently working at a leading men's health center in Houston, Texas. For over 25 years, I have received and treated more than 15,000 cases of erectile dysfunction, testosterone deficiency, male menopause, and other sexual problems in men aged 60 and above. I am also a member of the Sexual Medicine Society of North America, SMSNA, and have participated in many clinical studies on the impact of masturbation habits on the sexual health of older men. But what makes me most proud is not my degrees or years of experience, but the tears of happiness from couples when the man regains his inherent strength and confidence. I still remember one of my patients, Mr. John, 69 years old, who lives in the suburbs of Dallas. He is a former manager of the Walmart supermarket chain and has been retired for 5 years. He came to see me with a face showing clear embarrassment. He said, "Doctor, I can't even look at my wife. I feel so humiliated. I still masturbate every week, sometimes several times, but when I'm with my wife, I can't get an erection." I asked him about how he masturbated, about his mindset, and about how he had sex with his wife. After nearly an hour of listening, I realized something that most older men are never taught. That is, masturbation can become a double-edged sword. On one hand, it helps them relieve sexual tension and reduce stress. But on the other hand, if done incorrectly, it will kill their erection reflexes, damage penile nerves, and cause a decrease in testosterone due to disruption of the brain, testes, pituitary axis. In my clinical practice, I have also taught many training courses for young doctors on this topic. Unfortunately, in medical training programs, most doctors are taught how to prescribe medication rather than how to help men maintain their natural strength without depending on drugs. That is why I chose the path of deep counseling on lifestyle, hormones, psychology, and daily habits to help patients restore their sexual health sustainably. I want you to understand, I am not sitting here to condemn or judge your masturbation habits. I am here to share the most scientific, humanistic, and realistic perspective from my experience treating tens of thousands of cases over the past 25 years. Because I know if no one tells you this truth, you will continue down the path that thousands of older men have taken, a path leading to impotence, loss of testosterone, depression, and loneliness for the rest of their lives. And I don't want that to happen to you. Do you know what the biggest misconception is that most men over 60 believe? They think that masturbation is simply a way to release tension, harmless, and has nothing to do with testosterone or erectile ability. Many of my patients, just like Mr. John in Dallas, always believe that as long as they can still get an erection while masturbating, they're fine. But the truth is, masturbation is not the same as real sex. Every time you masturbate hurriedly, squeeze tightly, without deep breathing or activating your pelvic floor muscles, you are programming your brain and penis to get used to an unnatural type of stimulation. And over time, when you are with your wife, the feeling of arousal won't be enough to maintain an erection because your brain has memorized that only fast and strong stimulation creates orgasm. Another misconception that I want to break right now is, masturbation helps me sleep better. Yes, you may feel relaxed immediately after ejaculation, but according to a 2022 study from Mayo Clinic, men over 60 who masturbate more than 4 times per week have their morning testosterone levels reduced by over 12% compared to the group who either do not masturbate or maintain it under twice a week. Lower testosterone means loss of muscle mass, increased belly fat, frequent urination at night, higher risk of depression, and of course, a significant drop in sexual desire. I am not saying you must stop masturbating completely. I never forbid my patients from doing that. But I promise you, if you know how to masturbate correctly, in terms of frequency, timing, technique, breathing, and posture, it will not only be harmless, but will help you increase blood circulation, maintain erection reflexes, and activate stronger natural testosterone. Imagine after just 2 to 3 weeks of applying what I'm about to teach you, you will find that every morning when you wake up, your penis is harder, stronger, and your mind is filled with confidence. You will get out of bed no longer feeling sluggish or sad because your vital hormones are activated properly. And when you see your wife, your gaze will be different. The gaze of a man who still has his full strength, ready to protect, conquer, and give his most complete love. That is my promise to you, not an empty promise, but the result of thousands of patients who have experienced and succeeded. Now, I want to guide you step by step to transform masturbation from a potentially dangerous habit into a powerful tool to maintain testosterone, increase blood circulation, and uphold your masculine strength. I will guide you just as I do for my patients at my clinic in Houston, Texas. Those who have returned after a few weeks with eyes full of confidence and vitality they once thought were lost forever. First, you need to adjust your masturbation posture. Absolutely avoid masturbating while sitting on the toilet for long periods. This is a position I often see in older patients. Sitting on the toilet for too long causes blood to pool in the pelvic area due to gravity. But because there is no strong enough contraction of the pelvic floor muscles, over time this leads to venous congestion, weakening the cavernous microvessels, resulting in erection without sufficient hardness. Instead, stand upright, slightly bend your knees, keep your feet shoulder width apart, maintain a straight spine, and relax your shoulders and neck. This posture helps activate the pelvic floor muscles, lower abdomen, and increases blood flow effectively to the penis. Second, the speed and force of stimulation. Many older men masturbate very quickly because they are afraid of being discovered. But this makes the brain accustomed to intense stimulation, leading to loss of sensation during real intercourse. You should start by moving your hands slowly, using only 50 to 60% of the grip strength you previously used. Combine this with rhythmic deep breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. Each time you exhale, completely relax your hand and shoulders. This not only increases pleasure, but also activates the vagus nerve, reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, thereby indirectly increasing natural testosterone. Third, you need to practice Kegel exercises while masturbating. This is an exclusive technique that I have taught thousands of patients. When you are close to orgasm, tighten your PC muscle, the muscle used to stop urination midway. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then relax. Repeat this 3 to 5 times while continuing to move your hand. Contracting and relaxing the PC muscle helps increase blood pressure in the corpora cavernosa, maintain the strength of the pelvic floor sphincter, thereby making your erection stronger during actual intercourse. Additionally, it helps you better control ejaculation time, preventing premature ejaculation or dead orgasm, which is reaching orgasm without any sense of satisfaction. Fourth, the best time to masturbate. I always encourage my patients to do it in the morning, especially between 5:30 and 7:30 a.m. This is when testosterone levels peak for the day and natural erections are strongest. If you masturbate early in the morning, your sex hormones will be activated and remain elevated for 3 to 4 hours afterward, making you feel alert, confident, and work more efficiently. Conversely, if you masturbate at night before bed, your brain will release prolactin and serotonin after ejaculation, lowering testosterone, causing fatigue, restless sleep, and sluggishness the next morning. Fifth, do not watch porn. I know this is a hard habit to break, but I am telling you the truth. Porn destroys the brain's natural reflexes, removes real emotional connection during sex, and increases cortisol secretion due to feelings of guilt, lowering testosterone. Instead, focus on your private fantasies, recall happy memories with your wife or partner, or simply concentrate on your bodily sensations and breathing. This helps you reconnect with true emotions, maintain dopamine at balanced levels, and keep your desire naturally and sustainably nurtured. Finally, after finishing, clean your genital area with warm water, gently dry it, and perform a few pelvic floor stretching exercises. Stand straight, inhale deeply while raising your arms to the sky 5 to 6 times, combined with lightly swaying your hips side to side. This helps return blood circulation to the heart, reduces the risk of pelvic blood congestion, and releases endorphins, the happiness hormones, making you feel lighter, more relaxed, and more comfortable. I want you to understand, masturbation is not bad. It is only bad when you do it the wrong way. And when you know how to do it correctly, it will become a powerful tool to maintain erectile health, testosterone, and your masculine strength for the rest of your life. That is the gift I want you to receive today. One of the biggest mistakes older men often make when masturbating is doing it while feeling stressed, anxious, or bored. I once asked Mr. Daniel, 65 years old, living in Arizona, why he usually masturbated every night. He replied, "I don't know, it's just that whenever I feel sad or tired, I want to release." And do you know what happened? Every time he masturbated like that, his brain recorded the negative emotions associated with the pleasure, gradually creating a vicious cycle. The more stressed he was, the more he masturbated. The more he masturbated, the emptier he felt. This is the reason dopamine levels drop severely, causing testosterone to plummet, and eventually leading to depression and loss of life motivation. The next mistake is watching porn at high intensity. I have treated hundreds of patients aged 60 to 75 with erectile dysfunction caused by porn addiction. Porn creates overly strong, unrealistic stimulation, making the brain lazy and producing dopamine when facing a real partner. One of my patients in California cried when he confessed to his wife that he could not get an erection when seeing her, but would get hard immediately when watching porn. That was not his fault, but because his wrong masturbation habits had reprogrammed his brain over many years. The third mistake is masturbating too quickly and too forcefully. Do you know that the penis, like any other body part, needs to be nourished and stimulated naturally, without violence? Gripping the penis too tightly damages the small nerves around the corpora cavernosa, gradually causing decreased sensitivity, making it feel dead even though blood still flows in. At that point, you will experience erection without sufficient hardness or ejaculation without feeling any pleasure. These are very common cases I have to treat every week. The fourth mistake is masturbating right before sleep. I know many men think this helps them sleep better, but biologically, ejaculating at night increases prolactin, a hormone that opposes testosterone, causing your morning testosterone to drop sharply. As a result, you wake up feeling tired, sluggish, unmotivated, and easily irritable. On the contrary, if you masturbate in the morning, when testosterone naturally peaks, you will maintain high male hormone levels throughout the day, feeling full of energy, alert, and more confident. The final mistake I want you to remember, and also the most dangerous, is masturbating with a sense of guilt or shame. Many older men still carry religious or moral guilt about masturbation, causing them to torment themselves each time they do it. I'm telling you the truth. It is exactly that guilt that raises cortisol levels, sharply lowers testosterone, and completely destroys sexual desire. If you have decided to masturbate, do it with acceptance, calmness, and gratitude towards your body, combining deep breathing and Kegel exercises as I have instructed. That is the way to turn masturbation into a tool to nurture your masculine strength instead of destroying it. Remember, you are not a robot that just ejaculates and then rolls over to sleep. You are a strong man with freedom and self-mastery, and you deserve to enjoy pleasure in a way that elevates your health, strength, and true masculine character. My dear brother, if you have listened this far, I believe you are not someone who gives up easily. Only truly strong men with a desire for change are willing to sit and listen to all these sharings. I want you to be proud of that. Many of my patients, when they first started changing their masturbation habits, did not believe that just small adjustments, like changing posture, speed, timing, and incorporating Kegel exercises, could turn their lives around. But after just 2 to 3 weeks, they came back to my clinic with eyes sparkling with confidence. They not only found that their penis was harder and stronger, but they also felt they were living with more purpose, feeling more confident every morning when they got out of bed. You could be the next. I'm not promising you a miracle overnight. I never lie to my patients. But I dare to promise if you persist every day, just 10 to 15 minutes, you will feel a clear difference. Your body will be healthier, your blood circulation will improve, your male hormones will be maintained, and most importantly, you will regain your masculine strength in a way no drug can ever provide. That is a strength built from within, from your nervous system, hormonal system, and your own unbreakable belief. I want you to share this video with a friend, a brother, or anyone you think is trapped in misconceptions about masturbation and sexual health in old age. Because sometimes, just one video, one piece of correct information, can save their entire life from days of impotence, shame, and loneliness. If you find today's guidance helpful, please comment below, "I want," so I know you are ready for more in-depth knowledge. I will share with you advanced Kegel exercises, ways to control ejaculation, how to naturally restore testosterone, and how to truly love yourself so that you will always be a strong, confident, and free man. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I know it's not easy to face these truths, but you did it. That shows you don't just want to live a few more years, but you want to live your remaining years with strength, freedom, charisma, and true masculine power. I believe in you, and I will always be here with you on this journey to restore and elevate your true masculine strength. Remember, you deserve it.